Roots plant themselves into new ground this historic night on ESPN+. Abandoned in abundance by major franchises, it's the community-focused Oakland Roots that stand alone in representing the city. Tonight in the Oakland Coliseum, behind a record-breaking crowd, they will host a pristine foe in San Antonio FC, a unit that has rolled without blemish 2 matches into the season. Welcome one and all to this broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. I'm joined by Ricky Lopez-Espin. Oakland, with the pre-sale, are looking to break the active club record for attendance in a game. They would be sitting just behind FC Cincinnati, who are oh so dominant in that regard. During their era in the USL Championship, they passed their rival Sacramento Republic FC too, so game on in that regard. Now, let's talk about the game. Warm-ups are brought to you by the UCSF Benioff Children's Hospitals. They're looking for scenes today. Oakland provided it on the offensive end.
26,000 plus in attendance here, and these fans, they want to see a show. So how do you get them out of their sheets? You want to score goals. You want to create in the attacking third. First 10 to 15 minutes going to be really important for the Oakland Roots to get in a rhythm.
And in those first 15 minutes, they may be looking for the magic from this man.
Panos Armenakis can be an all-league player if he wants to, because he has that type of quality, the ability to beat you 1v1, but also the ability to bring in players through combination play. If Oakland wants to find success here tonight, they have to find Panos Armenakis early and often.
And although Oakland's been successful on the offensive end, it has been staunch, a curtain from the San Antonio team.
San Antonio has been fantastic within their defensive structure. They've been compact from front to back, and more importantly, Mark, they have a willingness not to lose individual duels with this hostile environment. Expect San Antonio to lean on their defensive prowess again if they have any hopes of stealing points back home.
The fans are piling in. Will 25,000 strong propel Oakland to victory? Or do the boys from Texas leave the Coliseum conquered? Lineups and kickoff are up next on ESPN Plus between San Antonio and Oakland Roots.
The only way to win is to do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots have teamed up. We are leading the charge to address food insecurity, empowering all athletes to improve physical health, and expanding the health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It doesn't just have great bones. It was the backbone of your community. So you breathe in new life, grinding away to make space for tomorrow, for your people. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival. Because you're always willing to double down on your neighborhood. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
It turns out Oakland sports fans won't have to wait long to catch another game at the Oakland Coliseum.
O city by the bay, let hope renew.
Love shall fill the streets of more than a few.
From every direction, let us converge.
A symphony of love leading a glorious surge.
O city by the bay, let hope renew. Brilliant minds set us apart. A new course we shall chart.
O San Francisco, be mighty, be proud. In love-filled hearts, may hope ring loud.
Today's USL Championship match is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. It's Oakland forever for all of these Oakland fans. Over 25,000 pre-sold tickets coming to this game. They had to provide a cap at 26,000 coming into this game as we welcome you. And once again, to the broadcast on ESPN Plus Here are your starting 11s, brought to you by Anthem.
And you look at that middle three, Armenakis, Gomez, and Gibson. They need to be really good at dictating tempo. You're going to see Gomez push a little bit higher, so Gibson can drop in and pull the strings from a deep blank position. If they get on the ball early and often, you can expect that front three to be expansive. Peter Wilson, he's going to spearhead the attack, and you want him as high as he possibly can to occupy the two center backs.
Meanwhile, for the San Antonio side of things, very successful against Pittsburgh, but still going to make some tweaks.
You look at that front three, they're explosive, they're direct, they want to put you on your heels. Hackinson will play right, LaCava will play left, and Grieve, you want him to get on the ball and drop in, because that middle three, they want to get on the ball, they want to play this game that San Antonio wants to play. Direct, win second balls. That midfield battle here tonight is going to be top priority.
So soak in the scenes here. Oakland fans abundant through this cathedral of the Oakland Coliseum, vacated by the Athletics after the 2024 season. So in come this USL Championship side. Jeremy Shear is our head official for tonight's match. Wonderful looking pitch from up here. The legacy is carried on here by Oakland Roots. Their opening match in the historic Oakland Coliseum is underway. You can hear the energy permeating about the building. See how these two sides handle this extra layer of volume, because I mean, we looked at the numbers. This is not an ordinary occurrence, having this many people watching you play a game.
Really important, Mark, when you have a fantastic turnout, a fantastic environment here, you have to play the game. You cannot let that come in and play the occasion. So I do think for San Antonio, right, how do you weather the storm? You have all of these people, 26,000 plus against you, and the players on the field. Play simple, get yourself into this game, and for the Oakland Roots, you ride this momentum, and you give these fans something to cheer about.
When it comes to the field, of course, Coliseum, built primarily for the sport of baseball, though it's housed so many different sports over its time, including soccer teams in the past. But when it comes to this pitch, we talked to Gavin Glinton, the head coach for the Oakland Roots. This is their first time playing on it. They've seen it, but they haven't gotten to play on it, so it's new for everybody. As LaCava sends in the cross, dealt with nicely. The field orientation, the same as it's been in times past when the Coliseum has hosted a soccer team. They've shifted from baseball to soccer before. You don't lose much when it comes to the stadium itself. Gavin Glinton said you could feel the history in the building. And he would know. Gavin Glinton played at least one game in this building as a player when he was with San Jose. He wasn't sure if it was one or two, but he knows he played against the Chicago Fire in this building. We'll be talking about different historical touchdowns this entire evening because there are so many of them. This place rife with different stories from different clubs, all of which just share this venue. Injury report brought to you by UCSF Health. None for San Antonio. Julian Bravo close to getting back for Oakland, but not quite available for selection yet. He could be a guy who will compete for a spot on that back line for the Oakland Roots.
To credit to what Gavin Glinton and the Oakland Roots were able to do in the offseason. You bring in talented player, Bravo, Jurgen Dahm, Peter Wilson, all will have their case as the season goes on.
Be very curious to see how these teams handle these first 15 minutes. San Antonio trying to burst something early. Very impressive in their game against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds last weekend, winning 2-0 at home. The new head coach, Carlos Llamosa, said it was a tough game. That's a good team, and they're tough to break down, which, breaking news, Pittsburgh's tough to break down. It was also very windy that evening. which both teams had to handle. But once the wind was in favor going towards goal for San Antonio in the second half, they dominated with long balls. They were able to match Pittsburgh's physicality and come away with the 2-0 clean sheet. And that's going to be the interesting footballing side of this. Of course, so much excitement coming into this game for Oakland. But they still have to play an incredibly tough foe here in San Antonio, who are looking to spoil the party.
And we've seen San Antonio evolve in the offseason, because years past you would expect San Antonio to play direct, to try to match that intensity, win second duels, but now they have enough ball players, especially in that central location, Soto, Hernandez, the ability to beat you through lines. So now they have a little bit of an extra wrinkle within their tactical awareness, and that's something that Gavin Clinton mentioned to us on our phone call, Mark, that now they can beat you if you step a little bit too high, but also if you drop off, they have ball players.
LaCava cuts it back. Opportunity towards goal! They're playing spoiler! San Antonio up early! Alex Grieve finds a pocket of space, and he leaves 20,000 crestfallen.
Just far too easy for San Antonio to go over the top. Mitch Tater's a center back that has so much quality when playing out of the back. But if you're at the Oakland Roots, you have to deal with this ball a lot better. Just far too easy, but talk about a first touch from Grieve. As he peels off Kai Green, an attacking player, your first touch is everything, because what that does, that sets you up to have a strike at the secondary option. Back across the grain, no chance for Kendall McIntosh. And what a start this is to play spoiler for San Antonio.
Alex Grieve came off the bench in that game against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and wreaked havoc. Got an assist in that game, and now he scored his first goal. First ever in the USL, by the way, coming over from Bohemians in Ireland. Otherwise colloquially referred to as Bows.
Now, what does the reaction look like for Gavin Clinton and company? A side that has conceded 7 times within the first 2 games here, but they've also scored 4. So you're looking for someone, great ball.
That one knocked away.
Just to slow the game down and get the confidence within the side. Get players touches, get them comfortable. But really good opportunity here in the set piece early on as Panos Armenakis and Alex Sieve stand over it.
This corner kick is powered by Ava Community Energy. Let's see if they can find something on this set piece. Oh, look at that! And listen to the crowd! A dazzling goal for 20,000 to witness in jubilation.
Coming into this game for the Oakland Roots, you wanted to give these fans something to cheer on. What about this? Instinctual, athletic, all of the above, just magic. From Rasmussen, just overhead kick, no chance for Sanchez. And you see what it means, not only to him, but every single person in attendance here in the Coliseum.
Justin Rasmussen, the man from Las Vegas, his second year at the club. A goal he'll never forget. And they have opened up their tally in their new home. Wow. And that is how San Antonio FC conceded their first goal of the season. Clean sheets in back-to-back games to start. Only 1 save necessitated by their goalkeeper in those first 2 games, 180 minutes. And then Justin Rasmussen with a rattler. That'll get them going. And them being the fans, of course.
What a moment. What a moment for the Oakland community. We've talked constantly about what it means, not only to the players, but the community, to call this team theirs and to show out in numbers. You want to capture the fans. You want them to be the 12th man. What a way to do it, to open up this game here within the first 10 minutes.
You know, there was some concern going into this game that maybe the energy would overtake these players, but we've already seen two fantastic goals scored. Composed from Grieve and fantastic from Rasmussen. Some of these guys have played in environments like this. Some of them have that experience. Though Gavin Glinton said none of them have played in the Coliseum, though. This Oakland Roots side to a club that thrive off of the energy the fans give them. One of the big warnings going into this game was that players may not be able to hear their coaches. They may not even be able to hear each other. So the big thing will be that everyone has the same base understanding of what you're trying to do, because sometimes the only way you're going to be able to communicate is with an exchange of looks.
That's when you need the ball to do all of the work. Get the confidence, move the ball from left to right for both sides. If you are the Oakland Roots, I do think Tyler Gibbs and Danny Gomez will be the players that need to be really influential at the pace that you go at. On the other side for San Antonio, you're looking at Tanner Cronally, the two center backs, very comfortable and true leaders in their own right. It's interesting, Mark, you look at the Oakland Roots in and out of possession when they're off of the ball. They go into a 4-4-2 formation, so Panos Armenakis pushes up a little bit higher, and then you have a flat midfield 4, and in possession, Gibson drops off, and now you have a little bit more stagnant. Good idea here.
Was fishing for LaCava, who was making a run into the 18. Welcome to the 2025 USL Kickoff presented by Terminix. Throughout the month of March, the USL will be kicking off across the country. Join us for all the action on ESPN and CBS sports platforms. What a kickoff we have here, and it is kicked off in quite emphatic fashion. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, including a dazzling finish from Justin Rasmussen. Somehow that one stayed in. Physics of a spinning ball. So for San Antonio coming into this game, their first 2 matches having been at home, their objective for this game is just to compete. Carlos Hermoso was saying, it's our first game away from home, and it's a particularly challenging environment, and case in point right here. You have to be able to play the same style on the road that you do at home, and that's challenging, especially when you haven't done it yet. New coach, although some returning pieces, also new faces, as is the case every year. A couple of quick cutting passes for the visitors. Ball's whipped in, headed away by Green. San Antonio will keep pushing. Hernandez. That one nodded away. Camden Riley on the end of it.
It's a bad giveaway there from Alexiv. To do so hard to recover the ball. You need to have the ability to connect that first pass and relieve some of the pressure that you've been under for the last couple minutes here.
should earn the whistle, and it will, from Jeremy Shear, donning the blue pro kit today. Roots family, the 2025 Oakland Roots jerseys are here, celebrating our return to the Coliseum and the legacy of Oakland sports. I do very much like these kits, paying homage to the A's, the previous custodians of this building, and of course, longtime custodians. Won't be the only act of love from this community that will be expressed tonight. Be sure to keep your eye out in about 10 minutes for another tribute that will be paid. They have brought the energy as promised, as advertised. If you could believe it, as we'll get another foul here and a booking, the first of the evening. That'll be Juan Osorio, who will go into the books.
Just no need for Osorio here. Just a bit too eager to try to win the ball. About 50 yards away from your goal. Move your feet, let Prentice play back, and your job is done. But now you have to deal with the yellow card, and you give up a really interesting set piece for Panos Armenakis to stand over it and really test this back line of San Antonio and Sanchez.
Let's see what they can do from this set piece. That one not out of the woods. Flag goes up. And another corner kick. Well, the first one went really well for Oakland. San Antonio will be looking to do better to handle that second action. They were able to get a piece of it, and then Rasmussen was at the right place. He did all the right things with it. Another Eva Community Energy corner kick. That one dealt with more nicely from Cronali. So this is an Oakland Roots team that has always had great fan support, but just to put into perspective the gravity of the attendance for this game, their attendance record before this was 6,408. So they're gonna triple their record here this evening. Claiming that ball, Richard Sanchez getting there before Wilson. The USL on CBS kicks off April 6th with two former USL Championship title winners battling it out. Join us Sunday, April 6th, as undefeated San Antonio FC takes on Western Conference rival Phoenix Rising FC at 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS. That's, of course, if San Antonio FC stay undefeated going into that one.
It's really interesting as San Antonio is trying to build out of the back. How many times have we seen Tanner Cronali elect to play direct into that front line and try to win that second ball battle? So if you are Jorge Hernandez, Nicky Hernandez, and Soto, your movement to be a little bit more proactive versus reactive is going to be really important. On the other side for the Oakland Roots, Gibson and Gomez have to cover a lot of ground because right now they're slow to everything and losing that midfield battle.
Not going to let that restart happen so quickly. Going to bring out the shaving cream and spray it out on the grass. So free kick incoming for the visitors. A side that aren't considering the first two games of the season from the Oakland Roots when preparing for this game and what they expect to see. Carlos Llamosa saying every game is different, and this one in particular will be. We're not considering their first two matches. They're going to be energized for the home opener and are going to work very hard. Well, we've already seen a little bit of that already. And San Antonio have to be ready to match that intensity. It's them not only against 11, but it's them against a whole crowd screaming against them. Finally goes out. Corner kick ensuing.
And if I'm Gavin Glinton, top priority in defending set pieces is to get touch tight with Alex Farnale and Mitch Tainer. Those will always be the intended targets for San Antonio because how dominant they are in the air.
So there will be a stoppage in play here. Players will go to their respective benches for some water. So in these matches, it is currently within the season of Ramadan. Those practicing are fasting throughout the day, not allowed to eat anything, and then once the sun goes down, they are then able to have some food, some replenishment. So the USL and soccer in general offering this stoppage for players who are practicing their fast to have the opportunity to eat. Always a lot of kudos to professional athletes who are able to go out there and perform despite being on an empty stomach. Well, how about that? You gotta love it. You gotta love getting the wave involved.
Just absolute scenes. What an atmosphere this is here in Oakland.
I think it's time for another fun fact about the Coliseum. Before the Oakland Athletics ever moved into this building, so back in the 60s, there was another team that played here, the Oakland Clippers of the NPSL, a different soccer club, and they are the first ever team across any sport to win a championship in this building. They won 4-1 in the second leg over the Baltimore Bays to win 4-2 on aggregate. That was in 1967. Later that year, the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, of course, at the time, would win their first title in the AFL in a 40-7 throttling of the Houston Oilers. But the Oakland Clippers, they're the first to do it. They're the first to hoist a trophy in this building. Off the corner kick. Great save. Second effort, tapped away. Hackshaw booting that one away.
Those are moments, and if you are Taylor Gibson, you have to be able to maintain possession. The ball comes down to you, your first touch lets you down, and now that affords San Antonio an opportunity to test your back line. It's little moments like that when you're playing against a team that's so direct that are really important. How do you take the game away from them and slow it down? Because this side lives on second chances. Good move.
A lovely turn from Wilson. Peter Wilson lost his footing. And San Antonio recover the ball, but it's been coughed up. Some extra pressure won't be enough to dissuade Juan Osorio there. Actually, that's Jimmy Madronda. Long-time veteran, composed.
Peter Wilson does all the hard work, but this ball needs to be played top of your screens, Alex Steve, right now. You take a little bit too long, and what that does, that affords San Antonio to get into their defensive structure, but yet not convincing whatsoever from Madronda. Footing seems to be a little bit of an issue here, 25 minutes in.
Still some butterflies. Of course, Jimmy Madronda's played in front of some massive crowds as a two-time MLS champion. All right, let's give you a heads up. In about 15 seconds, you're about to get a rain of applause from the fans in attendance here. Once the clock hits 24, we may have to address it after this opportunity. A stuttering step. Prentice floats it across, and it's headed over top. So as they prepare for this corner kick, at the 24th minute, for a straight minute, the fans are standing up and applauding for Ricky Henderson, a legend of the Oakland Athletics. Previously, the number 24 was reserved for Oakland-born pros, but now the Oakland Roots and the Oakland Soul, the women's team, are retiring the number 24. Ricky Henderson, such an icon in Oakland. One of the best to do it. You want a base stolen, call Ricky's number. Nothing coming of that corner kick, but just another example of this Oakland Roots team really lives by that name, the Oakland Roots. Such a community-driven club. This one trickling inside, now cleared away.
Thank you, Roots fans. And thank you, Ricky.
Another good example of them paying homage to the rich history of this area. Before the game, the Shawnaloni tribe were honored and are in attendance. That, of course, being the Native American tribe that is located in the Oakland area. As dubbed by VP Tommy Hodel, who we got to talk to earlier, the deepest of the Roots in Oakland.
When you get the chance to speak with Tommy and the luxury that we are, you can just sense the pride it means for this community and him. And it's not only him, it's every single person that works in a Roots organization, every single person that it's in the stands here. It really is a family, and you can feel it. So it's such a cool moment to see everyone enjoy this.
I think it's time for another fun fact, Ricky. We saw the wave being executed earlier. They say Crazy George Henderson perfected the wave at an NHL game, but the earliest available documentation on video, which he led, by the way, was October of 1981 at a Major League Baseball game located in what stadium?
Coliseum.
The Oakland Coliseum.
Comes for full circle, Mark. Always does. As you see Camden Riley going to the book. Love the intent here from Hackinson, how quickly he goes at pace. So what that does, that puts Camden Riley in a really uncomfortable situation. Unable to move his feet, his hips are all wrong. He gets caught lunging in on a yellow card now. And more importantly, San Antonio have the opportunity to whip this ball into a dangerous area. Bottom of your screen, Cornally and Mitch Tainer will be the two intended targets.
San Antonio, long distance free kick opportunity. Waiting for the go ahead from Jeremy Shear. training ground stuff here. Still an opportunity. Well covered there by Kendall McIntosh.
Scan the QR code on the board.
Alex Grieve is on the ground.
Upcoming game next Saturday, March 29th against Los
Did not take that fall well.
He's been a handful of Grieve just with his movement, but give credit to Kendall McIntosh, how quickly he comes off of his line and closes down any sort of angle.
Still getting tended to here. The goal scorer from Auckland, New Zealand. This injury timeout brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. Alex Grieve still on the ground here. And we'll be looking to see who potentially could step in. He's not in place to keep going, and he's still on the ground, so that would lead me to believe that that's the conclusion here. Crowd in attendance watches on.
Just look at the bench for Carlos Llamosa, the head coach for San Antonio. A lot of talent. Juan Agudelo, Pacheco, players that can come in and provide a little bit of an impact. You can also shift things around if you can bring Reese Buckmaster in as well. There's a lot of talent on the San Antonio side and a lot of experience as well.
A plethora of attacking options to step in for Grieve. Here's the corner. That one sputtering up in the air and claimed. Kendall McIntosh didn't go down smoothly. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. If you're in Oakland watching this game from home, maybe you could be sitting in one of those seats when they play their next match, which will be next weekend against Las Vegas. Osorio. Way too much on that one. Looking for La Cava. So, nearly 32 minutes into this one, San Antonio conceding their first goal this season after 2 straight clean sheets to start the year. Carlos Llamosa talking about his side in the defensive end. Said they play together, and it starts with the guys up top to press well. They dictate the game doing that. The back line is staying high. He mentioned it's been good, but they could still improve. Doesn't think they're fully there completely.
Yeah, he's done. Grieve is done. He's limping, unable to be. You just see the signal to the bench right now. Unfortunate for San Antonio because he started off fantastic. Obviously gets his goal, but it was everything off of the ball. The work rate, the pressure. Severe Carlos Llamosa, really big decision here. Who do you bring on to be as impactful as Grieve?
Waiting to see who takes off the training penny and gets ready to step into this game for Alex Grieve. A guy who has experience playing in Scotland and New Zealand as a pro. This being his first foray to the USL Championship and the US in general. Diogo Pacheco looks to be the answer to this question. The striker from Lisbon, Portugal. Got the start in the first 2 games and is gonna have to step into this one earlier than maybe he anticipated.
Now you're looking at a lot of fluidity throughout that front line for San Antonio. La Cava can play centrally. Pacheco very comfortable on wide parts of the field as well. Hackinson likes to go out and search the game. Just going back to the way that San Antonio was able to find the back of the net. It's all about his movement as a striker, but also the technical ability with your first touch. Top of your screen, he's gonna play off the blind side of Kai Green. And as the ball comes across, notice how he peels off. And it's a fantastic first touch in front of his body, which gives him the ability to strike with that second. But if you are the Oakland Roots, you have to defend this a lot better. It's far too easy to not to see the flight and not touch tight, and you get punished for it.
A goal scored in the 5th minute. Alex Grieve gave his side the lead for a brief moment. Quickly getting acquainted to the game is Pacheco. That one handled by Riley. He needed to get that one right as well. How about that touch from Madronda?
Panos is a player that you need to get more involved if you are the Oakland Roots. We highlighted him in the open, only 17 touches through the first 35 minutes. Not good enough for a player of that quality in his position.
Yeah, for those unaware, this isn't that traditional number 9 that can thrive on like just a couple touches, 1 goal, etc., etc. Armenakis typically heavily involved in the process. Push off means free kick for the home side.
Peter Wilson has been a fantastic addition to the Oakland Roots and what they want in their number 9. The work rate, the physical ability. I'll tell you what, I think that's soft. There is a little bit of contact, but both players have every right to go for that ball.
Alex Crognale, the veteran, 30 years old, from Columbus, Ohio. He's been in that situation countless times.
You have to think the desired location is right between that back line and 6-yard box. A ball whipped in. Hopefully someone can get on the end of it for the Roots.
Armenakis bends this one in. And that demanded action from San Antonio. It's the substitute again, getting involved, Diogo Pacheco. This corner kick is powered by Ava Community Energy. From the left flag, Armenakis. Floated back inside. And now claimed by Richard Sanchez. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now.
Just unable to get any sort of rhythm. The Oakland Roots side. No coincidence that Peter Wilson hasn't seen the ball as much. Panos Armenakis used to become a little bit more available within his movement. Tyler Gibson and Danny Gomez as well. Put your foot on the ball, get the ball circulating. Because right now it seems like this game is being at the pace that San Antonio wants it to be played at.
That'll be something Carlos Hermoso will be happy about. Get tested on the road for the first time. See if your side can play the way they want to play no matter what the venue is. Ripping service claimed by McIntosh. Diogo Pacheco certainly looking to get to the ball. Ends up hitting the keeper, and he's going to get a yellow card. I feel like that's a tough break for Pacheco.
Just unfortunate. But it's a flawless ball in from Hawkinson because it puts a lot of pressure on the Oakland Roots side and causes a little bit of confusion. But again, Mark, I find it really difficult to see that Pacheco gets on a yellow card for this. Yes, There's a little bit of contact, but there's no ill intent. He pulls out.
I mean, he has every right to the ball that the goalkeeper
100%.
has. Kendall McIntosh.
That's not a good sign for the Roots.
Oakland born. This injury timeout brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. McIntosh talking to Nabil Hackshaw, but as I was saying, this is a guy that grew up in Oakland, and then interesting enough, came over from San Antonio this season to play for the Roots.
There is a little bit of action trying to attack the ball from Pacheco in the end. As he sees yellow, joins Osorio for San Antonio, but more importantly, Kendall McIntosh on his own power. Good to see if you're a Roots fan.
He had 9 USL appearances last season, 1 clean sheet for San Antonio. And now playing against his former team in a building that I'm sure when he was younger may have had a lofty dream or two about playing in. So we're 40 minutes through this one. A goal in the 5th minute by Alex Grieve, who has since exited the game. And then just 2 minutes later, Justin Rasmussen scoring a fabulous goal to tie it back up and regain the attention of the crowd immediately. Soto tapping that one back to Jimmy Medranda. Such a big game taking place here. Last time a massive soccer match graced this building was back in March of 2011, March 26th. Service nodded away. Nicky Hernandez poking this one up. And a little triple through to Kendall McIntosh.
But this starts with Camden Riley. He needs to be tighter to Luke Hackinson. Too many times Hackinson has the ability just to run at Camden Riley, and he dictates where he wants to go. As an outside back, you need to be touch tight. You cannot afford any sort of winger that time and space to make that decision for you.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. All right, Ricky, obviously whenever you get into a situation where you're converting a field from one sport to another, the question is, how do the grounds look? Looks pretty good here. And a lot of that credit can be given to Clay Wood, who is the groundskeeper for the historic Oakland Coliseum. A man who has held that role for over 30 years as a part of the grounds crew. The nice thing is, doesn't have to worry now about shifting between sports. It belongs to the Roots, so he'll be able to take care of it and make it real nice for the sport.
Makes his job a lot easier.
He knows this ground like the back of his hand. I've been told he knows every blade of grass by name.
Just careless again for the Roots. You do a good job to get Peter Wilson involved, but the way that the number 9 drops in, his body position is all wrong. Prentice makes a good run, but just goes unnoticed. And when you play against San Antonio, that little mistake, you blink your eye, now they have a set piece and a corner kick.
Looking to bookend this first half with goals, San Antonio. They've been bearing down on Oakland here for a good stretch of time here. Looking to see if they can retake the advantage going into the halftime break. Patrick Sanchez chests it to his center back, and they'll loft it again. Those center backs not afraid to play the long ball down the field for San Antonio. That ball sent inside. Pacheco had to backtrack for it, so he couldn't put a lot of juice on the header. Free kick incoming for the Oakland Roots.
Good move here from Nicky Hernandez. As this ball comes to the end line, Pacheco just peels off between Kai Green and Nabil Hackshaw. You need to have a little bit more communication between the two. Not enough power to really test Kendall McIntosh. But how many times have we seen, Mark, in the first 45 minutes here, a ball being served in from a wide area for San Antonio. The wingers go 1v1, you crash towards the goal mouth, and you just cause chaos. So if you are the Oakland Roots, and I'm Gavin Clinton, I'm talking to my two outside backs saying you need to get a lot tighter and not allow service into the box.
That ball's gone airborne over their 18 across their goal countless times in this one. 6 minutes tacked on here at the end of the 45. Here's Jorge Hernandez. Check that out, Soto.
Watch out, a tough challenge.
Hernandez goes down. Ilya Alexeev.
As this ball gets popped out, rash challenge from Tyler Gibson. From the backside of Nicky Hernandez, clear yellow card right in front of Jeremy Shearer, our center referee. No question whatsoever.
His second yellow card of the season for the man from Knoxville, Tennessee. Tyler Gibson, 34 years old, the midfielder. Like you said, just a bit rash there. San Antonio once again doing some scheming here. Soto. That one looking to be flipped along. Unsuccessful from Juan Osorio. 22 years old from New York City. New to the USL ranks as well. We do have a stoppage here because we did get someone onto the field. Unwanted intruder. So security having to get involved. One of the risks you run when you have this many people. You're always running the gamut at a public sporting event if someone's going to be a little bit more debaucherous.
But give credit to those security guys. Quick, took care of the situation in a matter of seconds. Talk about their agility. Impressive.
Yeah, basketball court's one thing. The football field, a little more significant. A soccer pitch is massive.
Yeah, exactly.
For those who don't realize, that's a lot of ground you got to cover to catch up to somebody. So although we're approaching that 51-minute mark, which would be 6 minutes, there might be even more added on top of that due to the unforeseen stoppage. Play going on here. Peter Wilson slow to get back up on his feet. Jorge Hernandez winning it back for San Antonio. Ball floated in, headed away by Hackshaw. Here come the visitors again. Osorio's ball, no one around for it. Here's another example of somewhere San Antonio, or not San Antonio, Oakland struggling right now. These second balls consistently going to San Antonio.
Just no secret when you speak to anyone around USL Championship and you're facing against a San Antonio thing, the first thing that they always say and the top priority is you have to match their intensity. You have to match their effort and their work rate, because that's what they're going to bring non-negotiable for San Antonio. And then you let your footballing be the difference. But for the Oakland Roots, through the first 51 minutes here, they've lost that battle. They've lost the physical battle. They haven't been able to connect any sort of passes, and they've lost every 50-50 ball. So if you are Carlos Llamosa, the head coach for San Antonio, you have to be really pleased with how you've come into this hostile environment, 20,000 plus, and taken this game by the scruff of the neck and made it yours.
Pacheco lost it there and took a little clip afterwards. An intensity that the starting 11 plus an early substitution are showing. But that goes all the way down the bench, because Carlos Llamosa was telling us that he was struggling to decide who to bring with them on the bus. 2 to 3 players who are playing really well. As look out, McIntosh wiping out as that one changed direction. And that is the end of the first half of action here from the historic Oakland Coliseum. 2 early goals, including a fantastic one scored by that man, Justin Rasmussen. San Antonio definitely the better of the 2 sides, but the fact of the matter is it's all level.
Really important halftime talk for both of these head coaches. I think for Gavin Glinton, you want to get on the ball. That's going to be the top priority. You match the intensity level and let your football do the difference. All to play for in this next 45 minutes.
So after over 50 minutes in the first half, it's all square at 1 apiece between the Oakland Roots and San Antonio FC. We're going to step aside briefly. When we come back, we've got some great halftime content on the deck for you on ESPN+. We'll see you on the other end of this break.
Eating a balanced diet and being physically active are 2 of the most important things you can do to be healthy at any age. Fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins can help control your weight and prevent heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Regular exercise can help boost your mood, digestion, and sleep. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots encourage you to eat right and get active. For additional healthy tips, come visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/anthem.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You put on the biggest event of the year every single weekend, surviving the strongest storms, meeting chaos with composure. You roll up your sleeves to roll out the red carpet, because the end of the night for you is the beginning of the rest of their lives. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
O city by the bay, let hope renew.
Love shall fill the streets of more than a few.
From every direction, let us converge.
A symphony of love leading a glorious surge.
O city by the bay, let hope renew. Brilliant minds set us apart. A new course we shall chart.
O San Francisco, be mighty, be proud, in love-filled hearts.
If a record-breaking soccer attendance wasn't enough, how about a halftime performance from hip-hop Oakland legend Too Short, giving the fans something to be excited about while the soccer isn't taking place on the pitch. We welcome you in on ESPN Plus here for this halftime show. between the Oakland Roots and San Antonio FC. All right, it's time for some more history for you for the historic Oakland Coliseum. This again being the first match of the season for the Oakland Roots in this new building, trying to break attendance records here. Here's a look at some of the numbers from football games and baseball games. The Oakland Athletics and the Oakland Raiders both being custodians for this building prior to the Oakland Roots, along with a couple of other clubs as well, such as the Oakland Clippers, who have also been in this building. Here's a list of all the different teams that have been in this building. The fact of the matter is, a lot of these teams either, of course, don't exist or have left for different locations. The Raiders and the Athletics, two massive franchises that have left this place vacant. So the Oakland Roots have stepped in, have become the new hosts of this beautiful cathedral, and we'll see how they take care of the place and how these fans continue to fill it up going in the future. They sure brought the energy tonight thus far. Still 45 more minutes to go in this one, and more halftime content coming your way up next on ESPN+.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It doesn't just have great bones. It was the backbone of your community. So you breathe in new life, grinding away to make space for tomorrow, for your people. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival. Because you're always willing to double down on your neighborhood. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
The only way to win is to do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots have teamed up. We are leading the charge to address food insecurity, empowering all athletes to improve physical health, and expanding the health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
Welcome you back here for halftime between the Oakland Roots and San Antonio FC. Too short, still out there dropping bars, and we've got some things to talk about on our end of things, Ricky. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you here on ESPN+. Here are the news and notes from around the USL, but the talk of the town, Ricky, has got. Meanwhile, as far as scores from the USL Championship, out-of-town scores brought to you by Visit Oakland. Get out on the town and visit Oakland to explore arts, culture, and world-class cuisine. Anything sticking out to you?
I think you look at Lewis City taking 3 points against Loudoun United, handing Ryan Martin and Loudoun their first loss of 2025, and Lexington dropping points in the 11. Pittsburgh taking down Hartford Athletic, and Miami FC goes from bad to worse down in South Florida.
Oakland Roots, well, before we get to the other scores, this is what we've got going on right now. Some games at halftime with us, like Orange County, Monterey Bay, along with Phoenix Rising and Rhode Island. Rhode Island getting the lead on the road.
Connell Smith has done a fantastic job in year 2 with Rhode Island. Not an easy place to go to the desert, and they're up. They hold on for the next 45 minutes, and Danny Stone is hosting Monterey Bay. Big 45 for Danny Stone because he's done a fantastic job with his side as well, getting them true to their identity and really difficult to break down.
Oakland Roots are back on Saturday, March 29th at 7 p.m. for Rooted and Rising Women's Empowerment Night at the Oakland Coliseum versus Las Vegas Lights. Limited single game tickets are still available. Purchase yours now before they sell out. To secure your ticket, visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. That's 510-488-1144. Well, the fans eagerly waiting for half number 2 to get underway. We are as well. We've got highlights and stats, and then kick once again here on ESPN+. Tipped on the line. Wilson! Brilliant!
He has been on fire in Tampa Bay.
Cross forward, put down by Gagi, the hero! Let's go!
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador, Spiked Bebidas.
And it's a tremendous finish! San Antonio FC!
Unreal! And Phoenix rising!
It turns out Oakland sports fans won't have to wait long to catch another game at the Oakland Coliseum.
Tonight's USL Championship match is brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Some of the scenes and views from around here in the Oakland Coliseum. 20,000 plus, all filing in to watch the Oakland Roots do battle with San Antonio FC, a historic night in this home opener. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you here, 45 minutes in. Let's catch you up on all of the drama, and the drama happened early in this match.
It's a good ball from Mitch Taylor over the top.
Point to the crowd, celebrate, and bask in the glory. But that's about where the glory ends for the Oakland Roots, because San Antonio's been dominant since.
Yeah, the Roots, after that, really sloppy on the ball, sloppy on their defensive efforts. You just look at the possession game, was all San Antonio. Shots on target, San Antonio. Shots go to San Antonio. So if you are Carlos Llamosa, you've been the better side in that first 45 minutes. How do you grow on that momentum and get some confidence? I do think the two Hernandezes, essentially, they've been really influential. Get them on the ball a little bit more. But for the Oakland Roots, I think it needs to come down to Panos Armenakis, Gomez, and Gibson. You knew this midfield battle was always going to be key. At this time, they're losing it, and they're losing it in a wide margin.
Well, it is a beautiful night to be playing in a historic venue. All the different aspects of context to be added. It's also just a beautiful night, 57 degrees. That's the kind of temperature you want to be playing footy in. These guys are a little bit chilled, but if you're running around on the grass, playing with some high intensity, you're feeling pretty good right now. Energy still there amongst all the fans. We're waiting to get that final count of just how many people are there. Once we get that number for you, we will be sure to let you know, and we'll also be sure to let you know where that falls all time in the USL attendance record books. It's worth acknowledging they're trying to break what Sac Republic has. They were a little short of 21,000, and that's among active clubs, because FC Cincinnati, when they were in the competition, they were dominating the record books with the amount of fans they were getting at those games. It's been a couple years since they've been in this dance. So Fans back here, awaiting the restart here in the second half. The first major soccer match that's been in this building in about 14 years, almost 14 years to this date, March 26th, 2011. So 2 days, or actually more like 4 days from tomorrow, or from today, excuse me. It was a match between Mexico and Paraguay. The Mexican national team used to play here almost biannually, but Levi Stadium has become a little bit more of a popular landing spot for El Tri in this area of the country.
Substitution for the Roots to start the second half of play now on the field.
But fret not. Football is back in the Coliseum. So, there will be some adjustments personnel-wise before we get things going here. See if those changes, along with whatever tactical tweaks, make a difference here in the second 45 minutes. So back underway for 45 more minutes here. 1-1 after the first half. Is there a winner in this one, in this Palace? Whether it be the Oakland Roots, causing thousands upon thousands to rejoice, or the visitors, San Antonio, breaking hearts. So, substitution for the home side, the Oakland Roots. Camden Riley on a yellow card will step out. And subbing in, Abdi Mohammed.
Smart sub from Gavin Glinson. Camden Riley had a really difficult time dealing with Hackinson. Abdi Mohammed's a little bit more of a shutdown defender in 1v1 situations. So expect the Oakland Roots to be a little bit more secure on this near side defensively.
And now they're on the prowl offensively. Alexiv trying to get there. The youngster Ilya Alexiv, 19 years old. Been a part of that USL 2 team, Project 510. Being the second team for this Oakland Roots side. Atkinson sends that one skyward. LaCava couldn't get that one out from between his legs. Kendall McIntosh will put this one back in play. Good to see that he's been able to keep playing in this one after suffering a collision in the first half. McIntosh was a part of the San Antonio team last year, playing behind Pablo Cisniega for most of the year. Now back home with the Roots.
I love what we've seen from the Oakland Roots, electing to press a little bit higher to start this second half. Because so many times Cornally and Tainer had so much time.
LaCava still going with the ball. Trying to go through three different defenders there.
But if they do elect to press high, now you have to do it in unison. This is far too easy for San Antonio just to break through you. Too many gaps, you have to be compact. If that midfield line goes, that back line needs to stay connected because San Antonio is really explosive. LaCava, Hackinson, Pacheco now, they'll hurt you if you give them that time and space.
Certainly not names you want to hear coming at you going over the top. Alex Conali, one-on-one with our head official, Jeremy Shear.
Just so physical, the two center backs. Prentice goes down a little bit soft, but really clever. Trying to frustrate the big center back and win a dangerous set piece for his side. Panos Hamanakis, the quality of service hasn't been the best, unable to beat that first line of pressure.
Body goes down. Contact from Kai Green, just dragging down a San Antonio defender. Means the end of that opportunity. Join us in style this year with Roots Premium Seating. From our all-inclusive Club Oak to field boxes or dugout seats, we have great options for any occasion. Secure your tickets now. Visit us at oaklandrootssc.com/tickets or call 510-488-1144. You can see it on the screen, the link and the phone number, so be sure to check it out. Why not be a part of an experience like this? This one headed along. Dealt with by San Antonio for now.
Just needs to be quicker for the Oakland Roots. Too many times, Gibson and Gomez are taking too many touches, and that plays right into the hands of San Antonio, a team that likes to be direct. So if you can force them to defend out of shape, you'll have success. But your first look needs to be forward if you are one of the two center midfielders of Gomez and Gibson.
Trying to figure out how they can break down the San Antonio side that's been so staunch this season. This one headed to the right-hand side, and a collision there and crunch between Richard Sanchez and Peter Wilson. We've had several hefty collisions between goalkeepers and strikers tonight.
The first time that we've seen that front two for the Roots be connected. Off the ball run from Peter Wilson. Good idea from Prentice, and just so unfortunate for the number 9. He just gets caught underneath Richard Sanchez, and that's what you're taught as a goalkeeper. You take out a teammate, you take out an opposing player. Hopefully he's okay to continue on, Peter Wilson, because he's been a good addition to the Roots through the first 3 games here.
If the adrenaline kicks in and he shakes it off for now, he'll certainly feel it after the game.
100%. Those are the types of movements that if you are Gavin Glinton, Mark, you need to see a little bit more often, right? You play into your big number 9, you play into one of your front 3. Now there needs to be a secondary option, whether it's a knockdown running in behind, because Cronali and Tainer have been really comfortable through the run of play. Nothing has been in behind them.
Gavin Glinton looking, along with the rest of the club, for their first win this season. 0-2 after 2 matches. Took over as the manager last year in a caretaking role, and then was officially named the manager this season. Well, he was officially named it November 12th of last year, going into this year. Watch out, Madronda! Couldn't get it through. He certainly stepped into that one with the confidence, though, that he could pull it off. This one headed along, bounced wide. Hackinson with the service. Cronali trying to knock it home.
Flawless execution on this set piece from San Antonio. Everyone gets to the goal mouth, so that leaves acres of space. And notice the way that Madronda steps into it. He's leaning away. So that gives him the ability to swipe down on the ball. Going back the other way, really clever header from Cronali. Just tries to flick it on. Gets goal side of Hackshaw and almost finds San Antonio. They're second.
Still one apiece here. And now some pressure from San Antonio forces a mistake from the home side. Earning a corner kick. It'll be Hernandez, Jorge Hernandez, to provide the service. Well, we'll get another take at it. Having another go. Now having a lot more air underneath it. San Antonio able to prevent any sort of transition moment while numbers were committed forward. Hernandez doing his best to keep that one in play, even while he stood out of bounds. Quickly retaken by Oakland. Not a bad idea. And now it's going in the other direction. All right, well, let's take a look at how quickly they were able to get that throw in. Look at the ball kid.
You love that. Talk about being a 12th man. Little things like that, Mark, make a massive difference.
I've certainly seen games where players trying to quickly get a throw in back in play, and the ball just takes forever to get there, and that makes a difference. That's an opportunity lost.
I bet you what, once San Antonio wants to throw in, that's not going to be the same effort that that young man's going to give. Good on him.
Certainly not.
Good on him. Home field advantage. In the Crocs, too. Sport mode?
Must have had them in speed mode.
Yeah, speed mode. There you go. That's what it is called.
I mean, playing on the road, it's a different animal. San Antonio, this being their first road trip of the season. You lose a day to travel. You got to reorganize how you're going to plan your training sessions. And as I touched base on, the biggest challenge, Carlos Siomosa told me, is that you've got to give the players confidence to play the style without the support of your fans behind you bolstering. And without the support of your ball boys getting the ball to you real quick. I'd say so far so good in that regard for San Antonio. They have been undeterred by the harsh environment here. Here's a wind-up shot. Blazing towards goal, but not on frame.
And the Roots are a little bit scared of the overhead, the ball over the top, so they drop off. And good on Soto in the end, just to pick up his head. No one's gonna close down my space. Why not call my own numbers? He does not miss by much. He hits it well.
Yeah, that's a clean shot. But not close enough. The fans celebrating, and they're starting the wave again. As we mentioned, first documentation of it here in this building. A shout out to our producer, Brady Kujawa, for digging that one up on the spot. Quick exchange. Ball sent in centrally, headed away. Mitch Tainer able to deal with it. Second effort, lofted in! Out of the hands of Sanchez. He was able to reclaim it, claim a bump, and keep it safe for San Antonio.
It's the first time that we've seen the Oakland Roots get themselves into the final third. Sanchez has been fantastic at commanding his 6-yard box. Really decisive from the experienced goalkeeper.
30 years old from Mission Hills, California. Second year with the club, joined back in September of last season, so this will be his first full season. He's able to get 2 clean sheets in 3 matches though, so not too shabby. Good first impression there.
Again, just really sloppy from the Oakland Roots when trying to play out of the back. Giving the ball over very cheaply.
Sean Green exchanging it to 2 center backs. Nicky Hernandez rolling it forward to Jorge Hernandez. A dangerous player he is. LaCava serves it inside. San Antonio, they're the side right now, sifting and searching for that breakthrough moment. Alexiv can't get by Madronda. 19-year-old going up against the 31-year-old defender. Won the MLS Cup with Sporting Kansas City and then with Columbus Crew. So Madronda, he's seen his fair share of big games. He'd be one of the players here this evening that is not unfamiliar with this environment. And now, a change in the midfield. Nicky Hernandez takes leave, and Reese Buckmaster, who started the first 2 matches, steps in. The 28-year-old from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
What that's going to do for San Antonio now. Buckmaster's going to play at his wing-back position, but Madronda now will play centrally. So you have a pair of dual 8s between him and Soto, so Hernandez will be the true number 10 underneath Pacheco, Hackinson, and LaCava. Has to see yellow, Cornali, yep.
He's had a couple of infractions in this game and now goes into the books. Let's take a look at that sequence again.
Knows exactly what he's doing. The ball's gone. He knows he's beat. He's getting caught in no man's land. The transitional foul. It's going to be really interesting to see when Gavin Clinton dips into his bench. And if he does, who he brings on. Jürgen Damm was just in your screen. A player that has all the quality and experience in big-time moments.
Couldn't be kept in play there, so San Antonio back with possession. Now we're gonna get an adjustment coming up for the Oakland Roots. This time we get a stoppage. We'll see if that one comes to fruition. Some reinforcements for the home team stepping in. The 2 wingers, Ilya Alexiv and Wolfgang Prentice, they will take leave. And in come Jürgen Damm. That's some experience. And Jose Sinisterra, the Colombian, in for Alexiv.
Sinisterra scored a fantastic goal last time out at Monterey Bay, so expect him to be full of confidence. Jürgen Damm, the player that is very direct, going to test and really ask some questions of San Antonio and that back line. They need to get up to tempo really quickly because they can be impactful going forward for the Oakland Roots.
Well, these changes avert the tenor of this game. Maybe immediately. Dom takes a long distance shot, skips into the arms of Sanchez. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. In a game where San Antonio have looked the better side, the fact of the matter is that we are still locked up at 1 apiece. The visitors trying to break through, but so far unsuccessful, which means at any given moment, Oakland could flip this game on its head. Doesn't even necessarily need to be a turn in momentum. It just takes one moment, one play for that to be the case. They've got some fireworks early on in this game. Well, fireworks after the game as well, literal fireworks. But 2 goals right out the gate. Already mentioned Too Short performing at halftime. He is the guy to represent Oakland, according to several sources. Tommy Hodel, the VP, told us even G-Eazy would say that, G-Eazy being a member of the ownership board. E.J. Johnson subbing in for Peter Wilson. Putting some youthful energy up top for the Roots.
Different type of profile. Johnson now direct with his movement. Look for him to run in behind. A lot of pace as well. So if I am Gavin Glinton, I am telling the boys underneath him, play direct. Put the ball in our attacking third and let Johnson run onto it.
21 years old from Fairfield, California. Coming over from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Had 2 goals last season. San Antonio just suffocating on this side. See Johnson in there trying to do something to mix things up. Sinistera. He's going to get a yellow card moments after subbing into this game. Almir Soto going to ground and some words being exchanged.
The yellow card has been issued to the Roots, number 11, Jose Luis Sinistera. Card issued in the 68th minute.
Sinistera from Buenaventura, Colombia.
Tough challenge here from Sinistera as touch just gets away from him. And it's the aftermath that catches Soto. I think yellow is a fair assessment from Jeremy Shearer, who's done quite a job through 68 minutes here. Has controlled every situation.
Yeah, we've talked about the players and them having to handle the environment, but when you're an official, you also have to. Still the same game as if you were on a park with 4 people watching. Medranda with a spinning ball up top. Falls through. Hackinson! He bags it for San Antonio. They have continually pushed, and now they've broken through.
This game has changed for San Antonio once Madronda has gone centrally, because now he gives them a little bit of control, he gives them vision, and he gives them the ability to win second balls right side of your screen. Picks up the second ball, and notice where his head goes exactly right. He picks up it forward. Great ball across, and it's exactly what we've seen from San Antonio, winning second balls. Little flick on over the top. Hackinson does quite well to get goal side of his individual marker, and it's a clever finish in the end. Catches Kendall McIntosh off of his line, and just like that, San Antonio take the lead.
Hackinson, Luke Hackinson with his second goal of the season, which means he's already matched his tally from last year with San Antonio. Played 31 games last season. And his goal scoring tally through now 3 games, already caught up to that marker. So 2-1 your scoreline here. San Antonio with the lead here on this historic night at the Oakland Coliseum, the home opener. Play going on, San Antonio with some jerseys pushing forward. Hernandez out to Osorio. Ref says nothing foul there. Simulation. Threaded forward. Good touch there, or at least a progressive touch from E.J. Johnson, but well covered.
You thought the answer was B with that long touch from Johnson, but fantastic recovery run from the experienced center back. And you talk about passion.
Now the question's going to be, can the Oakland Roots find another answer? Not sure if you're going to have another magical goal under your belt. You just want something of quality.
I mentioned in the open, Mark, excuse me, that the Oakland Roots side going against the San Antonio side that loves to defend. Talk about the passion right here. Mitch Tanner, Alex Cornelli, and that's infectious for every single player in a black jersey.
And that's the captain, Mitch Tanner. This being his 6th year with the club, so he's a mainstay. And that's helpful for a guy like Carlos Yamoso in his first year on the job. He says it's an advantage because I'm the new guy. I'm the one coming into town. So Mitch Tanner has definitely helped him around in that regard. And then on top of that, he showed a lot of character, which earned him that captain's armband under new leadership in Carlos Yamosa, and that is a case-in-point example why he's the skipper.
And it's that position as well, that center back, because now you can see the whole field in front of you. So what does a leader need to do? Lead by example, communicate. And most times often than not, a center back have those 2 traits in their profile player. Mitch Tanner has been a fantastic leader for San Antonio. He's been a fantastic player in the USL Championship for years.
Today is his 250th USL appearance.
Incredible.
He knows this sport, he knows this league, and he certainly hasn't lost his love for it. Wonder how much more aggressive Oakland get as this game goes along.
Great
that
ball.
One played across! Couldn't be put on frame. E.J. Johnson, he's down inside the 6.
The first time that we've seen Oakland Roots really put pressure on San Antonio's back line. Ball over the top, and I love the first time idea because now you have Mitch Tanner facing his own net which is a big no-no and a nightmare for a center back. How many times have we seen this ball end up in the back of their own net?
You can hear some boos after the no call. The fans super involved, and that's because there's a ton of them. And there they stand, official attendance number 26,575. They break into FC Cincinnati's utter dominance on the record boards. What an accomplishment from this Oakland Roots organization in general, and also just from this community to embrace this team to the level that they have embraced them. And it's not just your common person, it's also been picked up by many famous names you would recognize. Sean Livingston, Jason Kidd, Billy Joe Armstrong, NFL legend Marshawn Lynch, G-Eazy, NFL QB Josh Johnson, all part owners of the Oakland Roots and of the Oakland Soul. From those big names to the common man that frequents the city of Oakland. They are attached to this team because this team is about the city. Another good example of that is that whenever the Roots walk out on the field, they walk out to a song called Coastin' by Zion Eyes, which is a local hip-hop group from the area, led by the late vocalist Baba Zumbi, who passed from COVID in 2021. They're another one of those cornerstones that have built up this club to what it is now, because Zion I, that group, they performed in that 2019 season when the reputation wasn't there yet for the Oakland Roots. They were brand spanking new, and that didn't bother them. They were about what the Roots were about. So they'll forever be a part of the organization as the walkout song. $26,000 people. Even though right now San Antonio have the advantage, it's still a successful night in general for the Oakland Roots. They love to find some success on the pitch as well here. Give these fans another thing to celebrate. Gavin Glinton said, you should expect a diverse crowd, blue collar, gritty, creative. There will be a lot of love and support, and that they've made every home venue special. So certainly they'd make this one special. And they've also done well supporting them when they go on the road. Saw a good contingent there in Monterey Bay last week. These are the many faces of Oakland.
Your attention, please. A substitution for San Antonio FC in the 77th minute.
A couple of changes now for Carlos Llamosa.
Replacing number 9, Jake LaCava. Also coming on the field for San Antonio FC, number 5, Alexi Sway. Replacing 34, Juan Osorio.
So you see there, waiting, Alexi Swahi, Lucio Barone, and Dimitri Eurofave, all subbing into the match. Swahi talking about USL Championship milestone. Swahi, this is his 150th appearance in the USL Championship. Meanwhile, for Lucio Barone, he hits the great milestone of his 3rd appearance in the USL. That's Barone you're looking at there, the Argentine. So Eurofave, Barone, and Swahi are in the game. So Osorio is out for Swahi. Barone in for Madronda. And Eurofave in for Lacaba. Service lofted inside. Won't connect with E.J. Johnson. Worth mentioning Dimitri Eurofave, who subbed in first there. His debut for for San Antonio. Just 18 years old from Moscow, Russia.
That fans have used a slur at this game. Hateful language is prohibited at Oakland.
Panos Hamanakis with some conversation, not only with San Antonio players, but also our head official, Jeremy Shear. 10 more minutes to go. San Antonio looking to see this one out and leave these fans disappointed. What a huge road 3 points that would be for Yamosa's side. That would also mean they'd start out the year 3-0. 9 points in 3 matches. Looking for assurance here. But Hackshaw does well controlling that one. They're also a little bit shorthanded today, San Antonio. No Shannon Gomez or Mohamed Omar, because both of which have received international call-ups. Gomez with Trinidad and Tobago, the Saka Warriors. They beat Cuba yesterday in Gold Cup qualifiers, and they'll play them again on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Mohamed Omar went back to play for his home country of Somalia in the CAF World Cup qualifiers. They played Guinea earlier today and will play Botswana on Tuesday. Offside flag goes up, denying that opportunity for Mohamed. Two goals scored in the 5th and 7th minute. It was first Alex Grieve, then Justin Rasmussen to tie the game back up. Then here in the second half, Madronda able to put in a dangerous ball, bounces to Luke Hackinson, and he finishes the job. Sinisterra finds the end of that one. That's not out of the woods yet. And the whistle blows as Richard Sanchez gets caught up with E.J. Johnson. And now some extracurriculars. Frustration from the young striker. The second yellow card of the season.
Frustration, like you said, Mark, from Johnson. Really clever ball in from Armenakis, and as this ball comes out, notice how E.J. Johnson just comes in, has no intent on the ball. It's a foul, no question about it. And then this is just pure experience here from Swahi to get in his face and draw a yellow card. But no play on the ball from the Roots player, backs up and takes out Richard Sanchez. And for the aftermath and the push, he picks up yellow.
Johnson going into this game led the team in fouls drawn. He had 8 of them in 2 matches. But committing the foul here. Richard Sanchez, I tell you what, you talked about how well he's played tonight. That is a player that is not afraid of colliding with anybody, friend or foe. His second year, after coming over in September last season, was with Memphis 901 FC prior to that. Also, one of the players on the pitch tonight with a little bit of MLS experience. Before we restart here, it'll be a substitution for Oakland. So the goal scorer for the Oakland Roots, Justin Rasmussen, exits, and Babukar Njai steps in. 29 years old from the Gambia.
Great ball.
Ends up going a little too far, but you saw the open man there. Ambitious from Oakland. Hernandez switching the point, and that fell on a platter, connecting with Eurofave. And he sends it right back over at the outside of his boot. Hernandez with the cutting effort. Couldn't go back and forth across the pitch with the Russian. All right, time to revisit one of the all-stars in this game tonight. Look at him go. Oh, look at the hustle.
The Crocs. Amazing.
He's ready to go.
He is ready to go. There you go, thumbs up as well. What a moment for that young man.
He's got his head on a swivel, quickly getting it to his team for the throw-in, and also recognizes when a crisis is breaking in. A second ball. Lovely look with the outside of the boot. Ball sent inside. No one's there for it. Second effort. Always rising.
Good ball back across here from Danny Gomez. And if you're Gavin Clinton, you have to be pleased with the fight and the will to get on the end of it. But as Johnson makes this near post run, Dom or Sinistero need to have a secondary action. Notice how Johnson slashes across. He pulls out Sainer, so that needs to be more movement. Notice how Sinistera and Dom are just waiting for this ball to be cut back. Someone needs to crash towards that far post, that top of the 6-yard box. And it's a really difficult technique in the end for Marinakis to get it back on target.
Richard Sanchez will put this one back in play. San Antonio have been in the driver's seat for the majority of this game.
Yellow card has been issued to San Antonio's FC's goalkeeper number 1, Richard Sanchez. again, fans. Please know that any type of slurs at this game is not prohibited.
There's Sinisterra.
Language is prohibited at Oakland Roots games, and violators will be removed.
Floating up ahead, tries to knot it once more. And see if they can generate another quality moment before this one reaches its conclusion. Gavin Clinton just looking onward, hoping the boys he's put in there can have one more moment of inspiration. Amir Soto back on his feet. We approach that 90-minute mark.
Been really impressive, Soto, in that central part of the field. Ability to cover a lot of ground to allow Jorge and Nicky Hernandez, who started next to him, go out and get the game.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 7 minutes of stoppage time here in the second half.
So still more drama to come. Ample time for many different things to happen here, Ricky. Looks like this conversation has turned into a good direction.
I have to think it's for what the fans are chanting once
Fans, the officials on the field are
Richard
pausing the game
Sanchez or Kendall McIntosh
So,
will be removed and face suspension from future games.
as Ricky just said, hateful chants from some of the fans here in attendance. The ref is pausing the game until that subsides. I mean, this is an instance where, Ricky, it's not just the 11 players, sorry, the 22 players, 11 for both teams, on the field that impact the match. And an environment needs to be fostered for those players playing. That, I mean, this isn't some sort of sick entertainment. These are all people all doing their jobs and doing it at such a high level that it has earned people the right to pay to go see them perform a craft at the highest level. And there should be a level of respect that is carried on the field, not just between players speaking to each other, but from those fans. And it is very much within the ref's power to postpone and to hold a game while that happens, because that is a consequence that you have control over. If people are being unruly, then take away the game they came to see.
Just no need, no space, no place in our game for hateful language.
And it's not even just hurtful to the players. I mean, certainly there are many people here at the game that have no part in that and are also going to be disturbed by it. Soto. Tap this one inside. Contact on Lucio Barone. I mean, a free kick for San Antonio. I mean, if you wanted a blueprint for how a team can handle going into a high-octane energy atmosphere like this with the record-breaking attendance, I think San Antonio here have pretty much created and followed the blueprint.
Just so difficult to break down this San Antonio side. As we mentioned it in the open, Mark, that they're just so willing to defend, to dig down deep, to do the dirty side of the ball, and they do it together. Everything that they do is in unison, whether it's dropping, whether it's pressing. The reason why they've only conceded once now in 3 games. So no better club is suited to come into this hostile environment, 26,000 plus, and play their game, implement their game style, and play the game at the pace that they want to play to.
It's not by accident that San Antonio now for over 270 minutes have conceded 3 total shots on target. 1 going into this game, 2 today, one of which being that goal-scoring effort from Justin Rasmussen, which, holy smokes, it took that to break through. Swahi. Is there? Oh, not going to be it there. And great work there from Eurofave, getting between the defender and the ball, drawing the foul. Shaw will bring this one forward. Looking to see if there's one final gasp of air here for Oakland, but San Antonio have been suffocating. They've kept it vacuum sealed tight ever since that 5th minute. In the 7th minute was the goal that Rasmussen scored. Claimed by Sanchez. 90 minutes of game time have now passed by, actually over that when you account for the added time in the first half since that goal has been conceded. And the visitors have just had this game on lockdown. Oakland will have another crack at trying to claim all 3 points next weekend against Las Vegas Lights. Try to get their first victory in this new building, or at least in this new home for them. Certainly far from new. The Oakland Coliseum. A road trip to Lexington incoming for San Antonio. One more opportunity for the visitors. Mohammed is there to close the gate. And now Oakland can't connect anything. Just been disjointed all game, Ricky. You've been pointing out.
Just so important when you play against San Antonio to connect that first pass out of the back, because they want to repress you, they want to press you. So if you bypass the initial pressure, now the game starts to open up. And that's been the downfall of the Oakland Roots. Haven't had the technical ability, the vision, maybe even their personality and courage to take chances and bypass the pressure.
7 minutes have transpired, though. We did have holding in added time. No one's there for it. The ref checks his watch. With 26,000 voices clamoring against them, San Antonio FC defile the Coliseum. 2-1 your final score. A record-breaking night. Well, this crowd that all filed in for this one will leave disappointed, because Carlos Llamosa's side, they're not about pageantry, they're about results. The fighter of the match is Justin Rasmussen, presented by Modelo. A reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. I think it goes without saying why he is our mark of the fighter, scoring that goal, their first goal in the Coliseum for the Oakland Roots. It was a dazzling goal. So we're gonna step aside here. When we come back, we'll have some post-game coverage here on ESPN+. San Antonio victorious 2-1 over the Oakland Roots.
The only way to win is to do it together. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots have teamed up. We are leading the charge to address food insecurity, empowering all athletes to improve physical health, and expanding the health and wellness resources available to the residents of Oakland and the Bay Area. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
O city by the bay, let hope renew.
Love shall fill the streets of more than a few.
From every direction, let us converge.
A symphony of love leading a glorious surge.
O city by the bay, let hope renew. Brilliant minds set us apart. A new course we shall chart.
O San Francisco, be mighty, be proud. In love-filled hearts, may hope ring loud.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. It doesn't just have great bones. It was the backbone of your community. So you breathe in new life, grinding away to make space for tomorrow, for your people. This isn't just a restoration. It's a revival. Because you're always willing to double down on your neighborhood. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
We welcome you back here one more time tonight from historic Oakland Coliseum. Over 26,000 fans came to this one tonight to represent the city of Oakland, but it's San Antonio FC victorious at the end of things, 2-1. Mark Schoenster, Ricky Lopez-Espin with you here on ESPN+ one last time. Let's revisit the highlights from this one.
It's a fantastic ball over the top. LaCava, his decision making, but it all comes down to the movement and the technical ability from Grieve. First to elude Kai Green, take his first touch, and it's a great goal against the run of play.
Well, they won't be able to take away any points from this one, but the Oakland Roots will be able to take away this memory.
Just magic for Rasmussen, the way that he overhead kicks it. Instinctual. Richard Sanchez can't react quick enough, and what a way to open up the Roots account in the Coliseum.
Then, in the 69th minute, you already mentioned it, Mitranda, the artist here, and then Luke Hawkinson, the finishing blow.
It's a great ball from Madronda, but it's the off-the-ball movement from Hackinson. Understands Pacheco is going to come century, so there is going to be space in behind and take nothing away from a clever finish to catch Kendall McIntosh off of his line. That's 2 goals for San Antonio. That's a win, and they take all 3 points back to Texas.
Here is where it stands amongst active clubs and their highest attendance as a club. The Oakland Roots, second best, the best currently in the USL Championship ranks, the USL ranks in general. Game on, challenge to these other teams, Sac Republic, Indy 11, and in the other USL clubs. Can you match a number like this? It's gonna be real hard because first off, how many of these stadiums can house that many people? Not everybody has a legacy building like the Oakland Coliseum.
Not many times that you're able to create history, and hats off to the Oakland Roots. Fantastic atmosphere, and a welcome to the Coliseum.
So with that in mind, thank you for joining us this evening. Oakland Roots and Bart want to make sure you get home. Visit bart.gov/planner to plan your trip. For our entire broadcasting crew, for Ricky Lopez-Espin, my name is Mark Schoenster. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. Your final score, San Antonio 2, Oakland Roots 1. Have a good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.